Jerry and George and their sister Mary. My wife, Florence, bless her heart, died in 1965. I lived until January 1977. I was 80 years old. This is where I'm buried, here in the Until the Day Dawn Cemetery. I was born in West Elman, had a farm there on Dowd Road, went to church at St. Paul's Episcopal, and I was a member of the Melrose Lodge here in Angelica. Bertzel Grange too, and the American Legion Post 1582 in Cancerega. Because I was a veteran of the Great War, I enlisted in the Army in Belmont, New York in September of 1917. I served in Battery C at the 307th Field Artillery in France. I saw a lot there, several air battles, lots of shells hit near our camp. There were 2 of us cooking at the forward position there. Where we were camped, the ground was taken by the Germans about 4 years before, and they kept it until we came along. We took it from them. We expected to keep it. I liked it better up there where the excitement was. The first night it made me a little nervous, but after that I didn't mind it. For a few nights I slept in a shell hole with another fella. We found some pieces of sheet iron and made a roof over it. We were lucky for once. One time a shell hit right back of our kitchen and the dirt flew and hit several of the men. Of course, I was right there at it. It was just supper time, but we were busy all the day long. The food was as good as we could make it. It was beans, beefsteak, stewed tomatoes, stewed peaches, bread and coffee. That was a typical meal. Sometimes we'd get some chocolate too. I got a scar on 3 of my fingers here on my left hand. Burned it pretty bad. I was lucky to only have the scar, as my hand might have been crippled. People say France is pretty, but I never really got to see the pretty parts much. We had a lot of rainy weather, no end to the mud. There were good days and bad. Besides cooking, I shoot horses when they needed it. Once a farm boy, always a farm boy. I got a medal for my troubles there in France. After the Battle of Belleau Wood, the one that Private Carpenter told you about, General Pershing had a plan to capture the city of Metz from the Germans. It was the first and only offensive launched by the U.S. Army. We caught the Germans by surprise. We were retreating, so their artillery was out of place. The trenches were filled with water. The fields turned to mud. Big surprise. Our tanks got bogged down. In spite of that, we did it. 4 days after we got there, St. Mihiel was free of German occupation. We immediately shifted further south to the Meuse-Argonne offensive. But that's a whole other story. With the help of the French and the British, we hammered the Germans even more. I got hit with some of the mustard gas while I was there, and I got a pension because of it. But I made it home, which is more than some of the boys did. Thanks for stopping by, folks. Glad to see you.
Thank you.